Are you trying to?
The way you just smiled. Such a pretty smile, too. Well,
Thank you.
hello and welcome to Little State Big Voices with myself, Shahida, and my fabulous co host, Tracy. How are
Hey,
you?
y'all. I am grinning, right? I have like that Cheshire cat grin on my face right now.
You are. That's because we just had some like crazy technical difficulties. I don't hear it anymore. No echo. Everything seems
Yay.
to be cool. So hopefully that will last. How are you, ma'am?
I'm good. I'm refreshed. I'm energized. I had a busy Saturday. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I slept in, which I love to do, especially on
Mm-hmm.
Sundays. And now I'm here for the rest of this last couple of weeks of summer that we have left.
I know. I cannot believe that the kids are going back to school. Darius is in full get all my school clothes mode. Um, Going into high school, excited about that. I'm just hoping that it's not too much of a shock to the system.
Yeah, it's high school.
Is a
Yeah.
shock to
I
your
think
system.
I think he will be fine.
Hmm.
Knowing him, knowing his personality, the things that he likes to do, his hobbies and stuff like that. And of course, having you in his corner and his auntie and his family, I think that he'll be fine.
But my point is, my child is a class clown.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. I hope that is not too much of a shock to his system. People, it's very lenient in elementary.
Mm.
Teachers are pretty lenient and a little bit more strict in high school, depending. So I think he will be fine, and he does have like a great personality. He is funny.
Yeah.
That's the bad part when I say, like, he's that class clown. He is funny. He actually is funny. So, but we'll see. So, but yeah,
But you
little
know
state.
what? It's honestly, that's not on him. And not that he's not accountable for his actions, but
Hmm.
it educators should be well trained and well versed in what the different personalities of these kids are. So you're gonna have a class clown, you're gonna have a shy kid, you're gonna have the bully, you're gonna have, the kid who's having problems at home. As an educator, you should be able to be like, okay, this is how I can help this student funnel this energy. This is how I'm gonna uplift this student. Like part of it is him, but the other part is his teachers.
Yeah, I feel like teachers nowadays, because you are correct that you should be able to kind of like switch gears and teach a classroom with different personalities on a way that they all can kind of like group together and understand it. But I think it's a one size fits all now for
Mm.
teachers and the way they think. I know, like, when my kids were younger, they had kind of older teachers, and the difference between the older teachers and the younger teachers was really phenomenal, because the older teachers were like, I understand that if they don't have their homework this night, that things happen, in a household. The younger teachers was like, oh, I don't care, you get an F. you know
Really? I
I was
would think it would be the opposite.
You would think it would be the opposite, and I thought it would be the opposite. I remember walking to the classroom and I saw my daughter's first teacher, and I'm like, this is going to be a hell of a year, because I know this woman is not going to play. Her name was Mrs. Skeffington, and she's a legend in North Providence, a legend in North Providence, and I knew that she was going to bring in hell, and she was the best teacher my daughter had, and she was much
Really?
older. And then where my son had a younger teacher, it it was the opposite. It was absolutely opposite, and she worked so hard with me in that first year coming into school to get her adjusted and everything. She was a phenomenal teacher, and I really haven't seen. That's not true, because they did end up going to the Met for high school, and there it was a difference in how they were taught. But I feel like it was the older teachers that they had were much better compared to the
Well,
younger.
we'll see. Listen, I will pull up to the school with you if anything if anything needs to be handled. I'm gonna tell you a story. There's a story
Okay.
that my aunt told me when she was when she was still alive, God rest her soul. She came from Honduras to the US and she didn't really speak, her English was okay, it wasn't that great. So she
Mhm.
went to school and the kids would pull her hair because she had two really long pigtails and they would pull her hair.
Mhm.
So my dad went up to the school with my mom to
Mhm.
check the kids and the teacher. So listen, my family will pull up to the school and we will bring other people with us. So let me know if I need to come up to the school if they're messing with my boy Darius.
I might have to go up to the school because he's messing with somebody. Please stop. Please
Don't
stop.
put that on him. Don't put that on him. But I hope these teachers get their lives together. I'm like, y'all, they have supposedly better, this generation of teachers, what are they like? What are they? Gen Z?
I don't know. I lost all the gens. I don't know.
So
I'm Gen.
they should have the emotion, they should have the language, they should have the emotional
Mhm.
intelligence, because now, like, I know what you're saying about your kids, but now we're a new generation, this is like another next generation. So
Yeah. Mhm.
hopefully these teachers are a little bit, actually the teachers are your kids generation, right?
Maybe because teaching is a generational job. You can go from 2 to 3 generations just teaching. Just like Miss Skeffington was.
That's
She had
true.
been in there forever. Forever. She actually deserved it. They actually did a plaque and everything for her when she retired, and she really was a really good teacher.
Awesome. Well,
So,
big up my educators out there because I have a lot of friends who are educators.
mhm,
It's a thankless job. It is a job that
absolutely.
you earn that summer break, and a lot of them work through the summer and they do summer school. So, God bless you because I couldn't do it every day. I taught like etiquette, and that was only on Saturdays, and that was a
Mhm.
lot. That was a
And
lot.
also, big ups to the parents. Check your kids, know your kids. Don't go up to the school trying to cuss teachers out because your kid came home and said that a teacher said something to them. First, find out because she probably did say something to them, but they
Right.
probably deserved it. I
Yeah.
go in eyes wide open. That's why I say I know who Darius is. That doesn't mean that I don't spoil him and I won't roll my eyes when he gets punished because I get very offended if he gets yelled at.
Right, but
But
also
I also know.
advocate in the right way for your kids. To
Exactly.
Shahida's point, don't go up there getting in someone's face because they held your child accountable. They should be holding them accountable. But if they're falling short on your kid's ed plan or your kid needs, additional things, because let's not
That's what
get it
you get
twisted.
upset about.
Department of Ed is a shit show right now. So the services are definitely going to be lacking. You're going to notice a decrease in services. So you're going to have to balance at home and your teachers are going to have to overcompensate. I saw teachers online asking for Amazon wish list stuff for their classroom because they don't have the resources. And I
And they
bought three
never.
books. I bought three books for one of the wish lists. One of them was Nipsey Hussle. Another, I forgot what the other one was, but I bought three black like books for these
Mhm.
kids, and they had other books on there too. But that was what I picked. Cause I'm like, you know what, the markers and all, y'all can go to Job Lot and get that for $3.
Mhm.
I made sure I invested in those books before they get
So
banned.
what was this? So it was a teacher's list,
Yeah,
and where did you get the list? Because I don't know anything
Facebook.
about that. Oh, see, I'm not on Facebook.
She posted on
So
Facebook, so I
is
bought
it a
the
teacher you
books.
follow?
It's a friend of mine,
Oh, it's a friend
not a
of you.
friend, but like
Okay.
somebody that I know.
Okay. Mhm. And so she was requesting like school supplies and then books for the
An
kids.
easel, books, markers, Kleenex. I mean,
Mhm.
like all the stuff that teachers are coming out of their own pocket for on their low teacher salary, coming
Mhm.
out of their pocket for. So she decided to crowdsource for this. As much as she could, and I was like, I know she's a reliable person. She's actually
Mhm.
going to use these items for her students. Let me go ahead. She just asked that people buy one thing, and the prices started like $7. You could buy something for as low as $7, and it just
Mhm.
got shipped directly to her. So I was like, I'll support. This is what we should be doing. We talk a lot on this podcast about community and
Mhm.
and banding together. Who's to say what inspiration any child will read in those books, and
Mhm.
maybe that will, steer their future just from
Mhm.
reading the right book, because it wasn't available to them at school, but it was made available by the community.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. That's, I mean, yeah, Facebook does have like some really good communities, and I should not just be so
I'll
anti-Facebook
share the link with
because
you. The
that
link
is a
goes. I
really
mean,
good.
the
I
link
would
is
donate to that.
the link is for Amazon, so it's just another devil. You do
Yeah,
what you can. You know what I mean? But you
yeah.
know that the end result is going to be positive. So.
Yeah, that's that, and I'm pretty sure a lot of teachers probably do that because I know I read about it just about every year. And usually, when it comes to donating for him for his classroom, I always go above what they ask for just any any other kid that might need it, or just so that it just won't be a stress on the classroom. I
And
mean,
let's
like,
talk about those school supplies. I remember like towards the end when my
hmm
kids were finishing up school, I was spending like $200 on school supplies,
hmm
between the graphing calculator and the
hmm
they need this spiral notebook and this size, and like I remember putting newspaper on the outside of my books. You know what I mean? And just dealing with it, and
hmm
we had pencils, maybe we had a highlighter and a backpack. The lists that the teachers are sending home are wild, but they need
I've heard
them.
the ones I've seen have been very reasonable, but I have seen on like, social media that there'd be some crazy lists. Like even like, do they even cover their books like we used to? Because that used
They
to be
they
a
can
huge
buy
thing.
them. They can buy the book covers now, or it's just a stretchy like
Yeah, I
a
remember those too.
shower
Yeah,
cap
yeah,
thing. Yeah.
yeah. I remember those. I mean, I got those, and then some. When those came out, everybody had those, and it was nice. And then it was almost retro to put like the brown paper bag
Well,
on
we
it. So
love
we would go back
that.
and
That
forth.
was our jam because we'd be doodling on it during class,
Yes,
and then somebody else would write a little note on your brown paper thing. It was
mhm.
so cute and so
It was. It was
80s.
crazy. And speaking of like books, like I follow somebody, I can't even think of her name was, but her daughter just went off to college and, paid her tuition and everything. And she's like, and she called me in the middle of the night talking about, oh, I need $200 for this book. Right. And we know that in college courses, you have to pay for your books and whatever goes to that classroom after you've already paid for the class.
Right.
And somebody else was commenting about how the pricing of college has just went insane since Ronald Reagan. That was part of his, administration that made it so much harder, and especially for inner city community people going to school. And I'm like, you think of all the money that these colleges have, all the money that they have, the endowments, the research money, all the money that they have, you can't include your books in the class.
Yeah.
Just tack
Yeah.
it on.
So,
Just tack it on.
so people who don't know any better. So I worked in higher ed. I was an admissions counselor for many years. I think I was an admissions
Mhm,
counselor for about 7 or 8 years. So I worked in
mhm,
higher ed. I worked directly with financial aid, and like I still
mhm,
know people that worked with me in those positions. All of that stuff can be rolled into financial aid, but
mhm,
the I don't know how to put this. Like if you come from a family that didn't go to college, like a lot of people didn't go to college and you're a first generation, it is so hard just to navigate that landscape. Even if
mhm,
you have family that went to college. My
mhm,
mother went to college and I still learned more working in the role
mhm.
than when I was actually a student, because a lot of things are not unsolvable. It's just a matter of getting the paperwork in, filling
Mhm,
out the right forms, hitting the right deadlines. There's just so much, and there's no one to really guide you
mhm.
if you are in an underserved community. Wealthier families pay services to help navigate their college
Oh
process.
yeah.
underserved communities. And I actually wrote a letter to my son, my youngest son's college, and kind of cussed them out a little bit about
Mm-hmm.
their process. I'm like, my son was definitely kept in the dark about a lot of things. Yes, you send an email here and there, but you have to understand this is an 18, 19, 20-year old kid.
Mm-hmm.
And you're on one hand saying that they're an adult, so you don't want the
Very
parents
so.
involved. But on the other hand, he doesn't know what you're talking about. He does
And on
not
the
have
other hand,
clue one.
who do they call for when they need the money? Not him.
They're going to call me. And
Mhm.
so, parent plus loans, grants, financial aid, students can apply for scholarships. There are so many ways to fund education. And the thing is, like, if you do it properly, the student can just have an account with the library or the bookstore, or whatever, and that
Mhm.
book just goes on their account. Not that it's free, it goes
Mhm.
against the loan or goes against their financial aid. But, and then don't, let alone housing, you know what I'm saying? You have to, there are deadlines for if you want to get into the dorms, or there's extra expense associated with housing. There was even a food pantry on my son's campus because kids are so damn broke from going to college that some of them can't afford food.
God damn. That's crazy. I know when my kids were in school, most of the luckily, not all of their books, but a good deal of their books you can rent from Amazon.
Yeah.
Or there
But you
are a
know
lot
what
of
they
different
do? So
ways.
they're
What?
so tricky. What they do
Mhm.
is they'll be like, oh, that's the 14th edition. You need the 15th edition of the book, and then it's
They
not
tried
available.
it, but
They
they tried it, but
It'd be the
nope.
same book. It'd be the same book, but the
Mhm.
pages will be different. So,
Mhm.
but what I
But if you
noticed,
have a good professor or good teacher, they don't mind that. Like I
yeah.
said, I think it was one class they did try some stuff like that, and it was like, you know what, it doesn't even matter, because at the end of the day, I'm not actually going page by page in this book anyway. You just need to understand the material that I give you in this syllabus, and if you can get it from the 14th edition, you are good.
So
So
I got a really big up Community College of Rhode Island. CCRI to me, and people can look down on it as junior college, an
saving you
associate's
money.
degree. When I tell you their curriculum is number one, it's fire. Their curriculum
Mhm.
is top tier. It's a very good education, and most of those books are available on digital download.
Mhm.
So, what I think is really helpful with that is that
Oh,
students
that's
who have
mhm.
learning issues or who just really don't do well with the physical copy of a book, they can actually search for keywords in the book
Mhm.
virtually. That so if you're studying the Revolutionary War, you can search like, okay, the name of this colonel, or you could search these dates in the text, and it will
Mhm.
pull it up in the digital copy of the book. Most of my son, my this is my middle kid, most of his
Mhm.
books were digital.
Okay.
It was great.
I don't know if I did they probably did do digital. Probably wasn't aware of it. I just remember the Amazon, because I was actually doing that myself for them. But
And then that's the thing is, like, what happens to these books at the end of the class? You try to turn them in, and they're like, "Oh, that's out of date. We don't even want that book," and or they'll
mhm,
give you $5 for it.
$5, which is crazy,
So
crazy,
yeah.
and it really is sad, because there people have been saying that there's a war on education since the 80s. And it is really, really true. And I think it has gotten just, much more directed at our communities than it has been over the no, not really, because it's the whole rambit.
First of
They're
all,
all
American
yeah.
colleges and
Uh,
universities are a scam in and of
yeah,
themselves.
I have
The
to
whole
agree.
thing is a scam
Mhm.
to to put people into classes. Basically,
Mhm.
this is my theory. And this is, you're talking to someone who has a bachelor's degree and a master's degree. I have both of
Mhm.
those because I
Mhm.
knew that I needed these bullshit degrees to compete with people who have less education than me in the workforce. To
And this
sit next to people who barely finished their 4-year degree and
mhm.
make the same money as
Mhm.
them. As a black woman, I had to do that and put myself into ridiculous debt just to be able to justify being able to it's the whole thing is silly to me because someone can graduate with a high school education, learn a trade, and make more money than someone who went to a 4 year university for a business degree. Because
Mhm,
let's be real, business degrees in the States do not prepare you to run a business. They
mhm,
barely prepare you to work for a business. And when you
mhm,
try to apply for a job with just your college education, what do they say? You need 2 years work experience.
mhm.
Why'd I go to college for 4 years for 6 figures for you to tell me I'm not qualified? And I even graduated from a school and applied for a job at that school in a role that I had experience in and did not get the job. I'm like, I have the degree from your college. You have someone working here who I trained at my last job in admissions, and you will not hire me to work here?
What was the
Okay.
reason? Did they give a reason?
They were like, oh, other candidates, blah, 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 blah.
Had more experience? What?
I don't
That's
I I don't I don't know what the reasoning was.
oh
And I
wow.
know that I do a damn good interview. So there's no way. They just didn't want me, and that's fine. That's okay.
Mhm,
Maybe they had a candidate who had a degree from their college, trained and mentored one of their top performing people that worked on in their company. I'm like, maybe there was somebody better than me. Maybe.
mhm.
I doubt it, but okay.
I doubt it too. I'm just gonna go in all on you. So
But I also don't want to work for someone like that. I don't want to work for
mhm,
someone who doesn't value me. So, someone said the other day, rejection is protection. I don't remember who said that, but
mhm.
it
It
blew my
can be.
mind. I
It definitely
loved
can
that
be.
so
I agree.
much.
I've heard that before, so
Yeah.
that's why a lot of times I don't take it personally. Sometimes it does bother me, but I have never interviewed for a job that I did not get.
Hmm.
And I like you, I feel like I'm a killer in an interview. I never got my master's, and I was like, oh, I should have went. But I see black women out here getting masters like day and night, and then they're saying the same thing as you. I'm literally sitting next to somebody who may have graduated from a junior college and not have as much as I do. You look at I mean, the White House right now. There's a lot of people who are working in the White House when they've been screaming DEI who have not even graduated college.
Right, because it's all BS. Like, to me, college is a 4 year party. That's my
Hmm.
opinion. Now, granted, my child did not take advantage of that. He did not party through his 4 years, which I
Hmm.
blows my mind because I would have been party. If I had no kids when I was in college, I would have been wildin'. But he actually went, he studied, he did his work, and now he's getting ready to start a job in retail because it is difficult to find a job in your field right out of
Yeah.
college. So that's just the reality of it. And then you juxtapose it with other countries who offer free college education, but there are no jobs as well because
Mm.
they're so
But
a lot of
at least they're not spending, tons of money on
right.
a college education and then come out and then then owe all this money with no ways of returning it back. That's crazy.
Yeah. And I'm like, I did not go to college because I thought the education was going to help me in the workplace. I went to college to have the credentials to apply
Hmm.
for higher paying positions.
Yeah, that's the only reason. Well, that was the reason I went. But also too, it was just one of those things you just had to,
Yeah.
coming, from my family. But speaking of like class, I did start the Gilded Age last week. I told you I
Ooh.
started it, so I actually finished. So I didn't watch the very, very, very last episode, but
Season
I
one.
no, oh girl, I'm up to season 3. I'm the last
Ooh.
episode to season 3. And I had to stop for a couple of days because Marion just pissed me off so badly.
Marion is being Marion is being a typical
Yes.
Marion.
Yes.
And you know what? That's fine.
Ridiculous.
It's okay. It's all
Ridiculous.
right. She's
But
she's doing what we expect her to do.
just no, yeah, it's just like this holier than thou. speak to this man first. If you haven't seen it, I am jumped on the bandwagon, and I'm just gonna say that it is one of the best written shows I've
Can
seen.
I tell
I
you why it's so good?
Why
Because a black
Sally?
woman is involved, Sally Richardson. That's
It is
why.
it is very. I mean, the guy who created, what was it?
Downton
Downtown
Abbey.
He created this fabulous job.
So
But
good.
I can't even think of any character that I hate other than Mrs. Turner. And
But you love to
but I
hate
still,
her. You
yeah,
love to hate her. You need a villain.
she's a good one. Now the thing that shocked me is the reason why I wanted to watch the show is all my mutuals on social media were watching it, and they were talking about the wedding of Gladys,
Gladys, yeah.
and how horrible it was, and they cried, and they were like, how could her mother do this to her? And I watched it, and I understand Bertha's reasoning, and I don't agree with it, but I get it. But it wasn't that I wasn't crying for Gladys. Gladys made the decision in the end, like, she wanted to uphold her status. She didn't want to be ostracized by society or whatever. So, and it had gotten to the point, she's like, this is what I have to do. And she kind of like settled in on it. Now I cried at Ada's wedding.
Oh, poor Ada.
I
Yes.
cried at her wedding when Agnes showed up, when Oscar showed up.
It's
that was
so good, isn't it? Amazing.
but then why give that man cancer? I hated
Because
that.
because
You
in
couldn't
order
mess
to
up
keep
the dynamic.
the sister dynamic the same, they already gave her, and then they also changed the power dynamic. But in
They
order for the
did. They
sisters
did.
to have that banter, the husband can't be there. And honestly,
I felt that they could have, but I'm glad that I mean, I get it. I get it. I'm glad that they're back in the same house again, or whatever. And she, at least she had that for a moment in time, because if
right.
that woman was a virgin, she needed that.
Listen, such a great show, such a phenomenal show. I'm
And Peggy, gorgeous.
Peggy's skin just oh.
Gorgeous.
What about Felicia Rashad?
Oh, she's a monster.
She is a monster.
A
So you need these
monster.
villains. You need Felicia Rashad's character. You need Turner and that other woman, the woman that was the servant, and then she married the
That's
millionaire.
Mrs. Turner.
Oh, so Turner and then the other lady, Agnes's housewoman. What's her housewoman's name? She's also a total bitch. The one that's always negative.
The racist woman. I can't even think of her name
She's
right
always
now.
messing with Peggy and Jack.
She's
So
jealous. She's
yeah,
very,
yeah,
and that
bitter.
was another thing that was so insane to see how, and you have it to this day. People who serve rich people, or who serve like in like retail, like very, very, very high end stores, even though they're not getting paid enough, they take on those airs. And it's like, you're taking on the air of this rich person, and you have no money.
It's a
And it's
house slave mentality. It is
plastic.
a
It is.
house slave mentality. And that late but and they try to show you a little I cannot remember Agnes's housewoman's name. I forgot her name. But they tried to, show you the human side of her when she went to her mother and why she kind of is the way that she
Did
is.
not
But
care.
that didn't excuse it. You're still a total bitch. Like, no.
Mhm. And they
But
always check her, which I loved.
so do you notice that on that show there are always parallels? They always have like some kind of parallel. So if the father in this family is arguing with the father in this family is arguing with the mother. If there's a relationship break
Mhm.
here, there's a relationship break over here. So the A and B stories almost
Mhm.
always have a parallel. So there's something that the director, it's like a formula, and I can see it like happening before
Mhm.
my eyes. If the son is arguing with his mother here, the son is arguing with the mother on this side. They do it almost every episode. And oh my God, spoiler alert. So anybody who's watching Gilded Age not caught up, when our black doctor saved Mr. Russell, oh, I was like, please don't let this man die. Cause they're gonna this doctor is going
Oh,
to
see, I didn't
win.
see that part.
Oh,
He saves he saves Mr. Russell, the father.
yeah,
Don't worry, don't worry. I because it must be the last episode
yeah.
because I didn't watch the last two episodes yet because I was just I needed
Oh,
a break
I'm
from
so
Marion.
sorry. Well,
No, no, no,
you'll
no, no.
see it. You'll
That is
see it.
fine.
But there's so
That is
much more
fine.
to it. There's so much more to it. That's just like
Mhm.
tip of the iceberg. But Peggy, amazing. Peggy's father, like, girl, you have to like trying to get into the mentality of the times. Like her father taking her baby and acting like the baby died. Like, girl, I mean, it ripped my heart out. That's the
Mhm.
stuff I would be upset about. Not nobody friggin' little weird looking Gladys getting married to a duke. Girl, go to England and marry a duke.
And she seemed to be doing okay. Her mama came there, told her how she
Bertha is like she's that girl and she's a fashion girly. Her and Oscar have the best fashion on the show.
yeah,
Bertha and
Oscar
Oscar.
does too.
Oscar
Oscar,
has some
those glasses,
sunglasses that I want right now.
those
I
sunglasses
need to Google
kills
those sunglasses
it.
that Oscar has so I can get me some.
Mhm.
He's a bad bitch too. You
Mhm.
know,
For
I
more
love the show.
reasons
Yeah.
that we won't go into. But yeah, I do actually like Bertha. I understand her reasoning behind a lot of the things, the way she goes about it. The one thing that pissed me off is when George really went in on her and then left the house because he was just like, she's Gladys is unhappy and you need to find sir.
Because he didn't
You
stand
having
up.
a hard time with your business right now and you are taking it out on her.
Also, he didn't honor his promise that he made to
He
his
did
own
not.
daughter. So he was
Mm,
mad at himself because he's
he
like, "Oh,
was.
I'll never let her force you to marry. You can marry for love, like me and your mother." And then he just completely was like, "I'm too busy to deal with this. Let your mama
Mhm,
just do what she want to do."
mhm,
And the son and the father turned on Bertha, and Bertha's over there like, "Huh?" I'm like, "Girl, don't even worry about them. Go to Newport and have you a good old time." So now
mhm,
I have a new respect now for the exhibit that we saw when we went last year.
mhm.
Uh, oh,
'Cause we were in that house.
I want to go back now. Is it still going on? Because I need to go back now.
I don't know if it's the same exhibit, but I'm pretty sure that they have something, but it was just like, I can't believe we actually walked in the same house. And you could tell from the film and the outside. So from the interior and the exterior, it really is a phenomenal show.
Yeah.
And
So
again, the thing about Felicia Rashad's character, I cannot think of her name,
me
but
neither.
whenever she tried to put that man down because he was born into slavery, instead of saying, "Look how far you have come, sir."
But you got to understand the
But
times. You
the
got to understand the times and
oh, I understand the times. It's still unforgivable.
the
Unforgivable
the
to
mental
treat a
gymnastics
skin folk
the mental
the way she
gymnastics
did.
to be a wealthy black person, like
Mhm,
the amount of stuff you guys do, you have to definitely step on some other people, which is messed up. But
mhm,
thank God, well, you'll see. I don't want to even say too much, but
mhm,
I'm glad Peggy stood her ground. But it's a really beautiful, it's beautifully shot, it's beautifully written, the
mhm,
storylines are amazing, they're not very predictable, which I like.
mhm,
I like a show that surprises me, that I can't anticipate, the full outcome. Like I get an idea of
mhm.
what's going to happen. The whole dynamic of Miss Astor and the other guy, I can't remember his name,
I bought a
the
book on her.
Nathan Lane guy, like
Uh-huh.
they're just all wonderful characters, well written, just beautifully done.
Yeah, it is.
Bravo.
I was very, very
And I
proud.
never watched
Another
Downton
show.
Abbey. I never watched Downton Abbey, but I might have to
No,
start.
my mother loves that show, but there's another show that makes that I'm probably not gonna watch it because I think it was like the 70s and the 80s. Upstairs, Downstairs. Do you ever remember that show? It used to
I
come on
remember it.
PBS. And so now I understand, and I even understand the architecture now of a lot of like homes in the South End, like with that bottom floor that I just
Servants,
thought was a separate
servants'
apartment, but
quarters.
those were the servants' quarters, and everything. So, and then when I think about upstairs, downstairs, how you saying how the lives parallel. The only difference is the money.
Money.
That's it. but it's good. But another show, if you're not watching on Apple TV, is Smoke, and Journey Smollett is in it.
Okay.
And it's a good show. It's about them trying to find this serial arsonist. And so
Hmm.
she's been demoted from her police work to actually work with these people. But that last episode, I never scream and like am so shocked and devastated at the same time as what happens in this last episode. It
Okay.
was the most
Hmm.
shocking thing I've ever seen in TV, I think.
Really?
I think it was the most shocking thing I've ever seen in TV.
Okay,
It's 8
Smoke.
episodes, Smoke on Apple
I
TV.
think I paused my Apple TV subscription. I'm gonna have to look into it. Let me see if
Mhm,
I'm
mhm.
probably paying for it and don't remember it. But we need a new show. So Rel and I need it.
But I'm
So
about to pause it because
Mo-
I'm done with Apple until what comes back. That funny show with the site shrinking comes back.
oh, so Severance is over. So that was what I had it for,
I'm not interested in Severance, honestly.
girl.
Again, I did watch all 3 seasons this last season. I'm
Loved
like,
it.
I did not. I
The
did not.
ending I didn't care for, but the
Did not.
idea of it I really
Mhm.
was into. I'm gonna tell you who did it for me was the black manager and Arquette.
Mm, mhm.
Um, what's her name? Patricia Arquette. I freaking love anything she's in.
That was wild.
Patricia
The way they
Arquette
talked to
can
her.
do. There are a couple of actors that I will just watch anything they do. Is Patricia Arquette and Steve
Mhm.
Buscemi. I don't care what they're in. I want to see it because I just
Remember
love
her
their
in
acting.
Medium? I love that show. That was
Yeah.
such a good
Did
show.
I watch Medium?
Um,
I don't think I watched that.
you didn't watch Medium? Oh, that was such a good show. Yeah, I did. I didn't. The first season had me in a chokehold because it was just all mystery. Really trying to figure out what's going on. You had great hints to it. This is the second season, right? It was, yeah. This was the
Severance.
second season. Yeah.
Whatever it is, this is the last one. I watched it. I finished it.
Was it the second? Yeah, I think whatever it was, whatever this last season was, I
It might have
didn't
been the
care for
third.
it.
Yeah.
I didn't care for it as much. No, they're supposed to have another season. They're coming back.
Really?
Yeah, they're not done with the series. There's another season coming up.
So they focused more on the outies.
Yeah, and yeah, which could be really good. I just didn't think they did it well. And I understood what they were trying to do, but it did get like extremely weird. It was almost like Twin Peakish to me,
Yeah, and the
but
thing is that
Twin
they do
was
that.
better.
The if you watch like the director and the producers talking about it, they'll say like they purposely shoot it like in that dark gray, like
Hmm.
real, and then they like the cars when they go to the office, when you see the cars in the parking lot, they're like late model cars and you don't know what year it is.
Yeah.
They
Hmm.
purposely do that to to make you unstable while you're watching it because
Yeah.
your mind is trying to like reconcile everything you're dealing with. You're like, is it 2025? Is it the
Hmm.
future? Is it 1970? I don't know what year I'm in. I don't know what's happening, and it's just, yeah, it's crazy. It was
I think it was how many seasons? Yeah, it was only 2 seasons. So there
okay.
is another season coming as
I'm like,
far
what else is there? I thought that was the
no.
end. There was such a dramatic end
Hmm.
to this one. I just thought it was done. I thought that was like the finale. Interesting. Okay.
There was a couple of things on Apple TV that I was actually shocked that I liked. I liked Murderbot. It was kind of light.
I'm really
Um,
digging HBO right now. That's like I used to be a big
what are you
Hulu
watching on
girl.
HBO? Because I'm
So
not.
I finished Hacks. I can't wait for a new season. Hacks is
Oh,
my
stop
show.
it. That is I love it. Jean Smart.
Jean
And what's the
Smart,
girl's name? The
that's
young girl's
Lorraine
name?
Newman's daughter.
I know. What's her name?
I don't remember.
I love her.
Hannah.
I
We're gonna
love
call her
her.
Hannah because that's her
Hannah,
character
yeah.
name.
Great character. That's a
Beautiful writing, like beautiful
it is.
writing. Character development is fire. Like the characters are so human. They're so realistic.
Mhm.
In their narcissism, in
Mhm.
their dynamics, in their relationships. Great show. And then I just been binging the heck out of 90 Day, like a whole bunch of different 90 Day spin-offs. And
Okay, yeah.
90 Day, I've
There
been
was a
watching
lot.
Last Resort, I've been watching Happily Ever After, and Between the Sheets. And Moreau will come in the room and be like, "Not this again." I'm like, "Sir, they're so messy. I just have to. I have to do
Uh-huh.
this." I'm
Uh-huh.
just like,
I haven't well, I've been watching 90 Day UK. Have you watched that one?
"No."
That's on
Mm-mm.
that's on HBO. So I watched the first season, so I definitely came back for the second. And it's it ain't
Sometimes I
about what
can't understand them. If I'm being
good.
real, I need my captions.
But there is this one woman on there, and she was dating this so they're all in the UK dating people in other countries, and she was dating this guy from Cyprus,
Mm.
and he's like 10 years younger than her,
Already
and
sounds shady. Already
30
sounds shady.
something, 30 something or whatever. And this woman goes back to visit him in Cyprus and tells him that she has found religion. She's now a Mormon. Is it a Mormon or Seventh-day Adventist? One of those two. And I think it's a Mormon, that she's now a Mormon and she can no longer have sex with him or hold his hand and stuff like this. And he tried it. He tried it. And she's like home now. And she's like, "You haven't called me in 3 weeks." He's like,
And I won't.
I may
I
have,
won't do.
I may want that visa to live in the UK, but you cannot tell some young person that you was already having sex with, no, we can't do it no more. You can't even tell an old person that.
Right.
I found religion. Then you need to find somebody in your
Yeah,
religion
find
to
somebody in
look.
your church. They'll pair you up.
Mhm,
They'll do the
mhm.
arranged thing.
So yeah, it's. I just want to see how that goes. And then this guy who is dating this young woman from some Latin American country. She has 3 children, and he's like, "I don't see myself with children," and I don't know why women just don't say no right then and there. You have 3. He's telling you he doesn't see his life with children, and he's having a hard time connecting with your children. Let that go.
Yep.
Let it go. It doesn't make sense to me. And, she's trying to convince him. So, what if you do convince him? And what if you do get married? Every time he says something or do something to one of your children, they're going to look at you like, are you not going to defend me? And what, you
So
going to
that's a
just
red
accept any
flag
old type
for
of thing?
that's a red flag, right? That's a red
It
flag.
is.
And the thing is that women
It's
do
a
it
huge,
even when it's not a visa
of
situation. Women
course.
women do it all the time. They're like, "Oh, well, this man wants me." That's not enough. If you are, and it goes both ways. If you're a father raising kids and you
Hmm.
marry a woman who doesn't want to be maternal in any way, shape, or form, stepmother or otherwise, run. Go in the other direction to someone who can accommodate your needs. It's very damaging, especially when your children are in their developmental phase. If they're adults, I can understand you saying, "You know what, you're grown now, this
Yeah.
person is not about to be your stepmom," or whatever. That's
Hmm.
happening in one of the 90 Day
Exactly.
ones with the guy from New Hampshire. um
Hmm.
it's an older white guy. His kids are all grown, and he married this black woman who lives in France, and they have a baby. They have
Oh, I think I remember that
yeah,
one.
and her
I remember
his
that one.
kids don't his daughter does not want that woman
Yep,
with
I
her
remember
father.
that. But she
They're
was grown though, right?
they're grown. I understand that, but if your kids are small and you need the visa
Mhm.
to come up, and you know you want to have your kids, this is what Jasmine and Gino were going through, because Jasmine has 2 sons. They live in Michigan now. She's from Panama. She has 2 young sons in Panama, and he's not doing the paperwork to get them up, or he filed the paperwork wrong or whatever, and he's dragging his feet. He clearly
Did
wants
he
the
file it wrong or just didn't?
and he's cheap too, so he doesn't want to pay, so he's trying to do it himself and not really wanting to get a
Wait.
lawyer.
Is that that guy with the bald head?
Yes,
Or
and the
he's like,
hats that
yeah,
she was
I know who
sucking on
that
his
is.
toes and stuff.
She
That's a
what?
big thing with them. She likes to suck on his feet. in between like the toes and the toes. And she loves it and he loves it. So I don't know.
Well, I guess if they love it, then I like
But
it.
he won't have sex with her.
He's still not having sex with her?
So she ended up, so again, spoiler alert for anyone who's watching the 90 Day franchise. What ended up happening is that she asked to open up the marriage, and then he
Okay.
finally broke down, and she had selected someone, some trainer from her gym,
Oh, she was ready.
and he didn't want to do it. But he wouldn't have sex with her, so he finally broke down, opened up the marriage, and then she ended up having a baby with the trainer and living with him.
So they're not even together anymore?
No.
So wait a minute. Why wouldn't he have sex though?
Because they fought so much. He said he could not get intimate with someone if you're fighting every single day, big blowout arguments. He's like, he's not the kind of guy that can just put his anger to the side and just have mindless sex. He's like, in order for him to have sex, he feels like he has to have like a strong positive connection.
Wait. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So did they ever have sex
They did, but like
in the
it'd be like
beginning?
8 months, like in between, like that they wouldn't have sex.
And this woman is sucking on your toes and you not having
And
sex.
got the whole
Okay.
boob job, and she's, the
Yeah,
whole
she
duck
looks a hot
lips
mess.
and the
She looks a
everything.
hot mess.
She got
Hmm.
all the stuff done, and yeah, he did not want to have sex with her. They were barely sleeping in the same room. So now I'm like watching the happily ever afters. So
Hmm.
when they bring the couples back together, and then with other couples, and then they put them in a house together. On it was a season 2 or season 8 of Happily Ever After. They put them in a
Hmm.
house together. So it was like some of your favorite couples, like Big Ed and Liz and
Oh,
Kobe and
what's he up
Emily.
to?
Big
Is he
Ed,
married?
he was supposed to get married to Liz, who is not from another country. He broke up with his 90 Day fiance. Then he got with Liz, who's American, and they moved in together and became a couple. And they became like a residual couple, basically, that they
Mhm.
followed in the series. He called off the wedding like a few days before the wedding and didn't tell her. And the church called her and was like, "So sorry to hear your wedding is called off." She was like, "Excuse me."
Why did he do that?
Because she cussed him out like the night before or something like that. I don't know. He was like, "I didn't deserve you." He was one of those things where he was gaslighting, like basically trying to say he was doing
Yeah,
her a
'cause
favor,
that's what
which
he was
he
though. Hmm.
was. He was, but
He was
he
doing
just,
her a favor.
yeah, but he didn't want to deal with her. He just didn't want to deal with her anymore. But
Well,
he she
how
she
was he doing
deserves
her a
better
favor?
because he was saying like that they were too toxic together.
Okay. Okay. Oh no, I thought he was. I thought I took it wrong. I thought you were saying he was doing her a favor by dating her, and I'm like,
No, doing her a favor by canceling the
I
wedding.
yeah, he was. He definitely
And
was. I don't
she
even need
also
to know
had
the details.
children. Well, she had a child, and the argument was over the daughter, but it wasn't really. He made some food, and the daughter's like a vegan, and he put like meat in it, and it was spicy and some other crap. I don't know. And they got into it, and she was just like, "You're disrespecting me and my daughter by, serving her this meal." Obviously, they have bigger issues, but that was the boiling point.
Yeah, why would you do that? Why would you
Yeah.
do that when you know she's a vegetarian? Okay, so I haven't watched any of those shows in a while, but obviously I'm still tapped in. I must have
And they're
watched.
90 minutes a piece, so it's like you got some good quality binge worthy. So season
Mhm.
8, I don't even know how many episodes. I started on season 8, and they have like 9 seasons now. So I started season 9, but it's not keeping my interest. But season 8, Happily Ever After, fire.
Mhm.
And then Last Resort I've been following that one too.
Yeah, I haven't watched that. Yeah, I think the Gilded Age is really all I've watched
I
on
mean, that's a lot. If you
HBO.
watch 3 seasons in the last couple of weeks,
Yeah. Yeah,
That's a lot.
because I was watching them every single night. And I would have to like redo it the next night because sometimes
And
I'd
they
fall asleep.
tease
But a
you
couple times
because
I
you
was up until like
because
two
it's a
o'clock in the morning.
weekly. They tease you because it's a weekly
Hmm.
series and they don't have all the episodes available. So you literally have to wait a week. So Morel and I would be stacking episodes. Like we would stack
Hmm.
episodes and be like, okay, we have two because he's the one that got me into watching it. And then we started
Hmm.
watching it. And then another show we started watching, but I had to take a break from it, is Three Little Birds.
Oh yeah, I saw that a couple of years ago.
But I told him, I'm like, I have to regulate how much black trauma I ingest. And I was like,
It's good though.
I was like, is it black trauma? He's like, no, I don't think it is. I'm like, it's very much black trauma.
That's the one. It's a UK show,
Hmm.
and they come from what island? They come from the
Jamaica.
island. Yeah, yeah. It was good. It was good. I
It
saw it a few
was
years.
beautiful fashion. I loved the fashion. I loved
Hmm.
the whole
Hmm.
experience. But I'm like, there's only so much racism I can take in on a given,
Yeah,
at any
and
given
it,
time.
it and it's harsher when it's in that accent.
For
It's
sure,
not. I'm
especially when
just saying it feels like it.
you've been tricked into leaving paradise. And this is what I say all the time. People from
Yes.
below the equator who come to United States, like, it is not never what they amp it up to be. When you come here,
Mhm.
the only benefit I think of leaving your country and coming to United States is financial, the work
Mhm.
opportunities, the and that's why they send the money back
Yeah.
home. That's it. You
Mhm.
literally live in paradise. You can grow your own food.
Mhm.
You're usually near a beach, or, and this is below the equator that I'm talking about. And I know there's a lot of poverty. I know that people come from nothing to come up here, but you come into the snow a lot of the time, you come into the cold, you come into disrespect, you come into a new language, a new culture. It's like, is it worth it? Like,
Yeah,
I
it
guess.
is. It's I wonder myself, but I guess I can see it, especially if you're so influenced by, I mean, because the world is influenced by media. And if you're watching, how people living in the UK and people living in Italy and, and you're, like you say, you're in this area of paradise, but you don't have the money or the means to have the option to do
Yeah.
that. So you feel like, oh, I want to be in the big city. I want to be where there are coffee shops near me. And, I get it. It's enticing. It's enticing, but you're giving up a lot, and a lot of it has to do with just your sense of mental well-being.
Yeah.
Because if you're brown, you're definitely dealing with a whole lot.
Yeah.
So crazy. There was something that you wanted to talk to us about, and I hijacked it. So go, girl.
Oh, I honestly, we can spend all of 5 minutes on this because I really don't even know all the details. I just know like the headlines and the buzz that's been going on, and it's in regard to Jillian Michael, who has been consistently problematic.
Hmm.
People who may not know that name, she's from The Biggest Loser. She was one of the coaches that helped people to lose weight on The Biggest Loser, but she's in the news right now and under fire for her comments about slavery. And
Hmm.
I have not fact checked this, so allegedly she has adopted black children. I'll need to
She
look this
does. She
up.
has one adopted child,
Okay, so
a
she has an
black child.
adopted child who is a black child. So she's not a slavery denier, but she's almost a slavery sympathizer, because her whole thing she was saying was that slave owners only made up like 1% or 2% of the population, and that slavery is not as big of a deal as we make it out to be. But previously she had been under fire for her comments about weight loss and, like, how people are, too fast. Like, she's just always um just on the wrong fucking pulpit. And she's definitely a MAGA. She's a MAGA person. Like, she's a Trump supporter, like openly supporter of Trump. And people are like, you shouldn't have a black child in your house with this
No, she
attitude.
shouldn't. No,
With this
no.
attitude.
It's very anti-black. I mean, and this is the problem I'm saying with education. We want to downplay education and what the real facts are of how this country was invaded, how they enslaved people, how they've murdered people, how they've raped people. We want to downplay that and to say that it was only 1%. It doesn't matter how many slaves were in this country. I don't care if it was only 300 slaveholders. Well, there were 40 million slaves,
And look
and they
at
were all
this.
mistreated,
That
and they were
one,
raped.
think about that number, that 1 to 2%. Right now,
And she's
one,
lying about the number.
well, even if it's true, 1 to 2% of the
Mhm.
of the American population are millionaires. Look how much damage those 1 to 2% do with their money.
Exactly.
They wreak
Hmm.
havoc. You do have like and I don't even know all who all does what, because some people can you two things can be true. You can be a generous philanthropist and you can also be the devil. You know what I'm saying? There's two things can be true. So the fact is that slavery, regardless of how widespread you want to profess it to be, was it is American history. That's number one, and should not be downplayed, should not be removed from the Smithsonian, should not be removed from the African American Museum, and it should not be it should not be downplayed the way that is being
Mhm.
attempted to be downplayed. And it doesn't matter how many. It resonates to this day. The fact she has a black child in her house is probably related to slavery somehow because of the breakdown of the black family that occurred through that history that allowed this child to be in the system to even go to your house. And why did you pick this black kid anyway? Why didn't you pick
Yeah.
another kind of kid? Why did you pick on a black kid? It makes you wonder what goes on in her household and what she's trying to indoctrinate this child to. But she just
And
always
wasn't there a
has
story? And
a.
remember, North Carolina, those stories that they dated. They dated. I'm sorry. They adopted those Haitian children, and then
Mm.
were using them as slaves in their house. And it was what, 2022.
And I
Two.
believe there are great families who cannot conceive that adopt black, brown, white, whoever kind of children and take those kids in and they do the right thing. And I think the majority of adoptive parents do the right thing. But you do have some that adopt and
Mhm.
they're or foster and they're manipulating, they're abusing, they're doing damage to these kids. And Jillian Michaels might be a freaking fantastic mom. I don't know. I don't know her life, but the things that
I
she's
don't know
saying
how you
are
can be
damaging.
because mhm, extremely damaging to especially her child. And if you're a MAGA and you're raising a child, and she's gay, right?
She is.
That's
She's a
another thing. She's
lesbian.
a lesbian. That just blows my mind. The amount of homosexuals, especially, who think that Trump or anything MAGA respects them. You're voting against your own interests because, and what's back on the table again? Gay marriage. Guess what? Was it this week? No, it was last week that that troll who's been married like 4 times says that she's going to bring it up back up to the Supreme Court to
Mm.
get rid of gay marriage. And they've been saying it forever. Oh no, we're not going to touch that. We're not going to touch that. That was the Dems saying that. Republicans have never said that. So I don't know how these lesbians and homosexuals have really thought that was in their favor.
And it gets me thinking about the Colin Kaepernick story. I don't know if you ever watched his story that
I
he
didn't.
told. There was a series that he put out, and Colin Kaepernick was adopted by a white couple. And while they
Hmm.
probably fed him, sent him to the best schools, probably in their mind treated him like they would treat their own child, that was a disservice to him. And he spoke on that. You got to watch it. I think you'll actually love it. He talked about how they did not nurture his blackness when he needed it. And that's something important to understand. If you're going to adopt a child from another culture, especially if they're visibly from another culture, I'm not saying you're white and you adopted a child from Sweden and that child is blonde
Yeah.
and looks like you and can have a white experience like you. If you adopt a child from Asia, from Africa, from South America, Central America, indigenous lands of any kind, You have to understand it is your responsibility to nurture that child's cultural experience, especially if they are visibly different than you. If they are brown, you can't just drop them into a regular all white school or something, or predominantly white institution, and expect them to thrive without tools and resources. Not to say they can't go to a predominantly white
Hmm.
school. They can do that and they can thrive. I went to a predominantly white school and thrived very well because I had tools and resources to uphold my cultural experience. By denying them that, you're denying your child's experience to grow properly in their culture, which they deserve. And other people, they are going to come at them. That's just, it's a given. They're going to experience prejudice, they're going to experience racism, and if you don't prepare them for that, leave that kid in the freaking orphanage, or leave them in their impoverished country, what have you, with the nuns or whatever. Don't bring them here to give them another bad experience.
Yeah, yeah, that's
Yeah,
very true. That's right. I didn't know. I thought he was half white.
he is, but he's adopted.
Oh, okay. All
I
right. I
think
didn't
he's
realize that.
biracial, but he's also adopted by a white family. So he was not raised
Mhm.
by his biological parents.
I remember I did this presentation to what was it? Foster Forward, and it was specifically about hair because I did they had saw that I had did
Shahida's an
the
expert on
presentation
black
for it.
hair. Don't let
I'm
her.
not an expert. My don't I the history of black hair, I can give you that.
Yeah.
Don't ask me any hair questions. But the history of black hair and just what it means to the culture. And there were a lot of black women, I mean, I'm sorry, a lot of Caucasian women who showed up for the presentation because they had either mixed children or had adopted. And I commend those women because, to learn the history, that's even a step more because you're really trying to delve into their culture so that you can teach them and then also lovingly do their hair or find ways to have their hair neat and done. And I agree with you 100%. You have to give them those tools because they're facing a world within you that is completely all about you. TV is all about you. The media is all about you. The TV shows are all about you. And then, they live in a neighborhood that's all about you. And then here they come with their brownness or their blackness or their Asianness trying to fit into that. And then you give them nothing of themselves. That's detrimental. And actually, when people of other races go to adopt or even foster, they need to be educated beforehand. Before you take this child into your home, this is really what they need. And then if you choose to not do that, then that's really a shame on you.
That's a business
So yeah,
idea. If you think about it, that's like a business idea, like a consultant that you can
yeah.
hire.
Mhm.
If you adopt a child, especially like a child with a different texture hair than you, like you can hire
Mhm.
like a consultant to
Just
maybe
the
come in.
culture.
Yeah. So
Hmm.
my mom's one of her best friends, Jane, she's white. She's been my mom's friend before I was even born. So we're talking 50 plus years friendship. She adopted a daughter from the Dominican Republic as an infant. Like she brought this baby on the plane from DR. And when she was having trouble, like fixing her hair, she would bring her to our house and my mother would help her with her hair. My she leaned
Hmm.
on her resources here, and she also took her back frequently to Dominican Republic to see her biological family, to experience her culture so that she
Uh,
wouldn't feel disjointed, so she would know her blackness, her Dominicanness, and then she also has her adoptive family's cultural experience too. But I think that's important, like watching that
that's really
90.
nice.
Yeah, that's what you should do if you really love your
Hmm.
kid, and it's not an accessory.
Yeah. Hmm.
But on
Yeah.
90 Day,
Yeah.
Emily, I really commend Emily. She's from Salina, Kansas, which I've never even heard of. But when you think Kansas, you already know what it is. they live on like property where they don't have
Mhm.
even like very close neighbors, like you can walk next door. It's a very secluded, very white community this woman comes from. She traveled to China and met this man from Cameroon, Kobe, and they got pregnant.
Oh, okay, Kobe.
She has 3 kids
Mhm.
with this man. When I tell you, Emily be doing that little girl's hair, okay? They have one daughter. She got the
Mhm.
hair bobble, she's got the brush, she's got the spray bottle. Go ahead, Emily.
Mhm.
Like that's what you
Mhm.
need to do. And those kids don't even look like
Mhm.
they're mixed. That's how Cameroonian their daddy is.
Oh,
They just look light skinned because that hair
uh-huh.
is
Uh-huh.
giving Cameroon,
Mhm.
okay? And she does a beautiful job with those children.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. I mean, and her mom and dad too.
Yeah,
Does
they
didn't
flew
they
to
did they still
Cameroon.
live in Vietnam? I
Well,
saw
they
that
were
one.
supposed to be
I
getting
did
their
see
own
that.
place. They flew to Cameroon for a ceremony, and there was culture shock that occurred there. She still bucked up against a,
Yeah.
and the mom was like appalled because she's like a very like she. I think she considers herself like almost like a hippie. The mom like very, so a lot of things seemed chauvinistic to her that were really cultural to them. It's like she
Yeah.
belongs to our family now. And the mom was like, I don't like the sentiment here. It's very chauvinistic. And it is. It's a very chauvinistic culture. But some of the cultural things that took place were beautiful ceremonies that while it seems kind of chauvinistic, there are elements of just like family and community that override what feels
Mhm.
like just overt chauvinism. So yeah.
Well, to
Yeah.
her mom, get ready because that chauvinistic ism is coming right back to the United States, and it's probably leading off in Kansas. They what was it, this pastor this past week? One of the things I did hear, and what's his name, Pete Hegseth. We're talking about is this pastor and this Pete Hegseth, who is the Department of Defense, talking about the 18th Amendment, the women's right to vote, and that America has been messed up ever since then. And that they we really need to go back to when the woman's only goal was to take care of the house, the husband, and the children. Well, oops, sorry, out of order. The husband, the house, the children. This is 2025, and this is a person who is an official who is a part of our Department of Defense saying that it was wrong to have the 18th Amendment.
That is so crazy. These are the things that
That's what
have
these
me.
people voted for.
This is what seriously has me contemplating. Okay, do I want dual citizenship in another country? Like, because I need to be able to get out of here before
Yeah,
all of this comes crumbling down.
I really need for these women, these white women who voted for this, to really be out there fighting like it's the Tea Party, like it is the revolution. Because honestly, your think pieces, your podcast, your interviews on Fox, it doesn't matter. Those things that you got to have a better plan because you're
A
going to mess this
backbone.
up
Have a damn
so bad.
backbone. Have a
You
damn
got to be in
backbone.
the streets.
And go in and get in that
Because
voting
I don't
booth.
care what anybody says, unfortunately.
Get in that voting booth and vote what you know is the right thing to do. Stop letting somebody manipulate your vote.
We're past that. They got to be out in the streets. They got to be like really. When I say Tea Party,
Dare I
whatever it
say,
is that these corporations, these companies, they need to be. Violence is going to have to come, and it's going to have to come from them
yeah. Yeah, because
because
we're
you
not
don't
doing it
win
anymore.
anything without violence.
We are not doing it no more.
So it has to come from them. You guys voted this in. You got to handle it. You got
Right.
to We will be behind you, but you got to be in front. So you got to do the fight. So I don't know
Yeah.
how y'all
I'm
do
I'm
it, but you
telling you
got to
right now,
figure it out.
I'm
So
not doing handmaids. I'm not doing it.
no, no, no. But you know who's funny right now in this era? Hunter Biden. Have you
Oh,
been
he is
following anything?
trolling. He is trolling.
Whenever he told me, what's that hoe's name? The his wife,
Oh
Melania
yeah, yeah, yeah. She's
DS,
demanding an
yeah, the
apology.
DS chick.
She demands an
No, no, she's
apology.
talking about she's going to sue him for $1 billion. So he trolled back and pulled up an old article from one magazine where, in her own words, in the magazine, she said she met him at a met Donald at an Epstein party. His biographer, same thing, said the same thing. It's like, but he's been not only saying, things, he's been saying all the things that we want to say, or we want
Yeah.
Democrats to say, and trolling him and Gavin Newsom. And I'm not a fan of Gavin Newsom because of that whole podcast thing he did with all those white supremacists. But you gotta fight fire with fire. And Hunter Biden, I am down with that man.
He
Go
has
ahead.
nothing to lose. I love someone who has nothing to lose and no fucks. He's like Harry from the royal family. He don't care no more. Just don't care no more. Like
Mm-mm.
I love it. A rebel with a cause.
But in the right. Yeah, exactly. A rebel with a serious cause, because I'm like, I'm so disappointed in like the Cory Bookers and the Hakeem Jeffries. Just very disappointed. But that's for another tale.
And
We do
Stacey
have
Abrams
some
is
news
tired.
that
She can't keep doing everything for y'all.
no.
Sorry.
But you know what? You got to get rid of APAC. You got to get rid of these special interest groups that don't have our special interest in mind. They don't
Yeah.
have American special interest in mind. We got to get rid of these groups, these lobbying groups. But unfortunately, we have a little bit of sad news that we will not be recording for the next 2 weeks. We are taking a
It's not
slight
even sad
break.
news. It is a gift that Shahida and I are giving you of 2 weeks to enjoy the end of your summer. And for us to do so as well.
Oh,
So we can come back
can't wait.
rejuvenated, refreshed, revitalized, so that we can give y'all season 3 fire.
Season
See?
3. Wow, that's crazy. That goes by fast. I couldn't even
It
get that out.
does. It does. But we love it. We love doing this
It
for you
does. But we're
all.
gonna, yeah, yeah, we do, and we're just taking 2 weeks, so we'll be back. That first week in September. We're sticking to our Monday schedule.
Yes, of course. And we
Yeah.
promise
So
we're gonna
every
deliver
Monday.
more lives. My feedback that I got over the weekend is that people love the live that we did. They want to see more lives from us. So not only will we be bringing you
Okay.
the consistency, those Monday episodes, we're also going to deliver more lives. And we're going to be doing some new, fresh, exciting things in the 2025-2026 season. So just wait for it. Take these 2 weeks, go to the vineyard, drive up to Vermont, fly to Miami, go out of the country, order 20 bathing suits on Shein and wear them, interchange them every day on vacation. Have a blast until we come back.
She, no, she didn't. No, well, I'm pretty sure there's some black-owned companies that sell
There
some nice
are.
bathing
If
suits.
you
Go
can
get
get
you.
your swimsuits, or go fly down to that country and buy some bathing suits from the locals. Buy some t-shirts. Get your do your thing. Support some communities when you go out to visit them. And when you go to these countries, bring some school supplies. Drop some
Except for
stuff
Florida.
off.
Don't go to Florida.
No, I'm talking about when they go out of the country. Like if you guys go to the Caribbean,
I bet.
bring stuff with you
Hmm.
to donate to the school children in the area that you're going to visit. That's something that
That's a
I like to
good
do when I go down. I like to
idea.
bring something and I like to give back within that community. So it's 2 weeks. You'll be
Yeah.
okay, but at least you won't be looking for it. And like I always say, if you need your fix, we have 2 years worth of episodes, almost what, a year and a half worth of episodes you guys can listen to. You can go back and start it from the
Yeah.
beginning. You can binge
Hmm.
Little State Big Voices.
Yes. Yes. Because we'll be back September. I need this little break.
Yeah.
like Tracy said, get ourselves organized, get some really good content going. So we will see you then.
We'll see you then. And until
But
then, you
until
know
then, you can
exactly where to find us. If you want to watch us, we're on YouTube. If you want to listen to us while you're commuting to work, you can listen to us on Spotify or wherever podcasts are heard. If you want to engage with us on social media and leave comments, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook. Shahida, where will the people not find us?
motherfucking TikTok.
Still,
We are still not on
we're still not
TikTok.
on there. It's okay.
We'll see what they're doing. We'll see what they're
Who
doing. We're
knows what season
watching.
three
But
might
as of
bring?
now, no,
Season three may
you never
bring
know.
some new surprises. But until then, enjoy the rest of your summer. Get outside, get some sun, do some fun things, and report back to
Get,
us.
get outside. Because I did read the Farmer's Almanac is predicting that we're going to have a very snowy and a very cold winter.
Ooh,
That is
okay.
not good.
No,
Like two of them together, usually it's one or the other. Both extremely low temperatures and and snow. That's not good. I'm not looking
no.
forward to that at all. So enjoy this rest of these last couple of weeks of warm weather. We get a warm weather until October. Fingers crossed.
Because you know it's gonna
Fingers
be pitch
crossed.
black at
So
4 o'clock in
until next time,
October. So have fun while you can.
while you can. All right. Till next time, have a wonderful week and a great end of the summer.
Until
Peace out.
then.